black people are different than white people? I didn't notice that until I read an article in the newspaper that said that white people send army recruiters to poor black areas to recruit children to fight in white people's wars. And the black kids go because we don't fund their schooling, rig their voting, and watch as floods drown out their shit-filled lives. But you don't hear about that on the news because once a month some dumb white bitch gets herself kidnapped by her husband while jogging, and she's just prettier than old nappy hair. And what's the deal with white folks trying to dance? I mean, they can't dance, can they? Probably they can't dance because they didn't have to learn how to dance as a form of communication while another race was enslaving them. And what's the deal with airplane food? I mean, what's going on with all those rules on an aeroplane? Put your seat in the upright position. That would only make sense if you have to be prepared to jump out of it to tackle a terrorist who took over the plane because our government overthrows democratically elected leaders in other countries. Also, when your religion says kill the infidels, you're probably going to want to kill the infidels, but we're not allowed to criticize religion because George Bush says that faith is unquestionable and science is gay. And what's the deal with Michael Jackson? I mean, is that guy black or is he white? Also, he fucks children, much like the many priests fuck children, but instead of going to jail, they get shuffled from parish to parish where they can fuck more children. And technically, if they're the closest members to God, then maybe that means that God fucks children. And that's why there's so much death, disease, and misery in this world, because God's too busy fucking children. Thank you for coming out. My name is
Jamie Kilstein from New York.
What's your show called?
It's called There Is No God, and That's Okay. I actually read an interview with Stuart Lee, who said that him, and maybe Simon, or him and someone else, the first time they saw Danielle Kitson, they were like, fuck. Kitson, and you're inspired, but inspired to do what? Like, I don't even know, like, it's not like you can even do anything without, like, ripping him off. The first time I saw him, someone was like, you should watch this guy, and I'm like, whatever. And I literally 10 minutes in, I almost started crying.
My first Edinburgh show was called The Albino Hunter, and it was a show really about the threat of albinos and how it's becoming bigger and bigger and no one seems to be doing anything about it. Albinos, as we all know, are dangerous, and I was trying to do something to stem the flow of their menace and make people aware of the trouble and see that it doesn't continue. I did have an albino threaten me on stage. He was going to punch me and he was very angry. His eyes were redder than normal, and I kind of talked him down because he thought that I thought that he was a fairy tale character, and I explained to him that no, albinos are real.
What's the toughest thing about performing at the Fringe?
The Fringe is it's a very strange performing environment because it's first of all it's a non-level playing field, you know, because it depends where you are in the festival, what time slot you are, and everything as to what type of audience you get. I always find it odd because I think it's a place where the comedians come to showcase what we actually don't do. Because like the rest of the year, if you arrive and there's less than 20 people, you don't perform. Whereas here, where you're demonstrating what you do, you'll perform to 3 people that will come in. There's plenty of shows running right now with 2 people in. I did a show with 3 people the other day, and it's also very difficult to get word of mouth going because there's so many shows on now. It's very hard to get the press in. I'm at the Stand Comedy Club, so I don't lose any money. The Big Four, the comedians, there are comedians who will sell out their show every night at the festival and will lose about £7,000. The trouble is, once you put on a show, you then decide, if I'm going to spend the money on a room, then I may as well, and then you need accommodation as well. So you've already spent a bit of money, and you've got lots of earnings, and then you think, if I'm going to spend that, I may as well get flyers done. If I'm going to get flyers, I may as well spend a bit more and get posters. If I'm going to get flyers and posters, I'm going to spend on a flying team to hand them out. Posters you then need putting up, and you can't put them up yourself legally around here. You have to get you have to get special permission. So you pay a group of people who have permission by the council to put those up. And if you're going to do all that, you may as well then get a PR. £2 for your decent PR. So all these things just keep adding up.
So what's your favourite thing about the Fringe?
I love the atmosphere, and I don't know what it is. All I know is when I don't do the Fringe, I do miss it. It's for 1 month of the year, as a comedian, I don't have to jump on a train that's packed and running late and travel up and down the country and get home at 3 in the morning from somewhere. For 1 month staying still, that's really nice.
Does it get lonely being revered on stage, having a good show, and then coming off and you sat in your car and it's kind of like...
Yes, Alex, we're all sad clowns, really. Comedians are all on the edge of suicide, you know.
I thought so.
Deep down, all comedians are depressives.
Comedy was a non-existent play, what would you be doing?
I will always be doing something in performing. I discovered years ago that the problem with working is I don't like it.
Carey, how would you like to be remembered?
By whom?
By anyone.
By anyone?
Yeah.
That's how I'd like to be remembered. By anyone. I remember as a hero of the people. I remember as Super Carey.
My show's called The Credit Crunch and Other Biscuits.
Yeah, how's it going so far?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's tonight was nice. First few sellouts, looking all right.
Just getting into it then. What do you think of the crowds?
Yeah, they're fine. Tonight they were all right. They were nice, but I knew I was picking on people from St Andrews, and I could see a row of 5 in that I knew went there.
Nobody was good for that red rubber face line. That's
Yeah, I know, but I was looking at their big rubber faces.
Were they just...
Yeah, they were doing it with me.
Okay, cool. So the crowd's pretty varied then.
Yeah, they can be. I mean, they've generally been really good this year. I thought that maybe they'd be down on numbers because of the whole economics or whatever. It's fine, fuck it. I recommend going to see a show called On Heat with Matt Ford. John Richardson, Mark Olver, Matt Ford. Matt Ford's the host of the show and he's an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And he's just pissed at midday, and it's a panel show with like guest comedians on.
So they just get pissed?
They just get pissed and are really indulgent. It's really funny.
What's your inspiration?
My inspiration? Grosh.
What do you think of the come down period from Edinburgh, like a month later?
I'm going to a tent for 2 weeks. I'm going to lie in a tent.
Just lie in a tent,
Cornwall,
chill out? Is that right material or just...
No, not right material. Just lie there and veg and go and recover.
What do you usually do after a show?
Now?
Yeah,
I'll go and get
apart from talk to me.
Get wrecked.
Cherry Bakewell or Battenberg?
Cherry Bakewell.
Every
They're both
time?
marzipan.
You're wrong.
They're both marzipan.
You're wrong. It's Bakewell.
No, it's neither, is it? I wouldn't have either. I think
it's Bakewell.
if you offered me, in 2 hands like this, if you offered me Cherry Bakewell and then you've got the Bakewell, I'd hit both your hands away.
So none?
No, of course not. I don't want cake.
That's
Got to
wrong.
be Bakewell.
It's Battenberg.
I don't have a sweet tooth.
You said Bakewell!
I meant Battenberg.
All right,
Wow.
smoky bacon or
No, it
roast
doesn't
chicken
count, Dan.
crisps.
Dan, I gave you 2 there.
Right. Because they're vegetarian.
Smoky Bakewell tart.
Are they frazzles?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll get you a bag of frazzles. See you tomorrow.
That's awesome. Alright, Dan Atkinson. Say goodbye, Dan Atkinson.
Yeah, bye-bye. Can you leave me alone?
Well, alright.
I've had enough of this.
Look, alright.
No, fucking get out.
I'll stay away from you.
Go on, get out. Fuck off.